Dear Elijah and Elena, you are beautiful, especially Elena. You are beautiful in and of yourself. You don't need to add or take anything away. That's real talk, okay? So the reason I am saying this is because I think it was a couple of days ago I just watched a video. I think by a makeup artist by the name I think of Stephanie Lange. And I know what you're thinking. Why is this cat watching a makeup artist channel? Yeah, I don't really have a real reason any other than I just thought the title was interesting, so I looked it up. And the title was The Real Reason. I think it said something like The Real Reason You Feel Ugly when without makeup or something to that effect. So I decided to click on it. And that will, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the only video I will ever watch for a makeup artist channel. I might watch it again. I'm not going to front. But with all seriousness, I thought it was very interesting because I think she had a number of good points, throughout the video, as far as like her channel. It's a makeup artist channel, so I guess I didn't really look at all of her channel, but I'm guessing that most of it is about makeup. So how to apply it and what's the best products and all that good stuff. And so the interesting thing to me was that she was pointing out how some other channels, other quote unquote influencers that are some are celebrities, some are not, how they would do makeup and they would say, okay, well I'm taking off the makeup, but then they would still be using actual makeup. Like you can still see there would be makeup left or what have you. And so she was saying how sometimes when you look at a lot of Hollywood celebrities, and we've, a lot of us have seen these images on Google or what have you, where a superstar, I think she used a number of different people who I won't name, who were, and I'll try to remember to put the link in the description. But a number of these celebrities, they're, typically are beautiful. What a lot of us, I guess, would consider beautiful women, right? And we've all seen these pictures. It could be any number of famous people, right? But then when they're not on stage or in a movie or doing some type of publicity or whatever, then you see them without the makeup, and it's like, ooh, okay, that's not the same person I've seen a number of times in movies and television shows and what have you. And so people would consider that person, I don't know if they would say they're ugly or not, quote unquote, but they would say maybe they're not as attractive as with the makeup on, right? And then even recently, some celebrities have gotten a lot of praise, I guess, from their fan base. I don't know who they're really getting praise from, for not wearing makeup. I know. Well, again, I'm not gonna say any names. You could Google it, But there's one popular singer who's a very well-known pianist and singer. She came out back in like 2001. And I think she had, kind of started a few years ago not wearing makeup. And so that kind of, was like, oh, she's not wearing makeup. That's so great, whatever, what have you. And I remember, and also another thing I thought was interesting was that this particular makeup artist was also making the point that when she was younger, so I take it she's a few years younger than me, so I think she's in her early 30s. So she said when she was in high school, she had a boyfriend who was like, don't wear makeup. I don't want you to wear makeup. But then she said when he did, when she didn't wear makeup, he would be like, oh no, I want you to wear makeup or something to that effect. So I guess he was misleading her or something. And I kind of thought to myself, this is kind of the thing. I think we all are complicit. Maybe not all of us, but many of us are complicit in that. Basically trying to make women feel like you need makeup to be beautiful. And it's been, I imagine it probably goes back for centuries. I haven't done any home research on it. But I imagine it goes back even beyond the 20th century. But since I'm from the 20th century and, a lot of the entertainment and stuff we've gotten came up in the 20th century, that's what I would mostly deal with. But I know a lot of people, a lot of women, will wear makeup. I've, let's say, and I'm not saying I've kissed a huge amount of women, but whenever I've kissed, like older women or something like that, they'll give me a kiss on the cheek. Ooh, I got a little makeup on you, which, and they rub my face or whichever. And I've always thought to myself, like, why do you need makeup? Why do you need a lot of it? Why do you think you need it to? And some of them will probably wouldn't even say it's not even that they think they need to be beautiful with it. Some would say that. I've heard women say they don't even let their husbands see them without makeup on in the mornings. Like they would jump out of the bed before the husband gets out of the bed to apply their eyeliner and whatever else this stuff is called. Um, and I think, and I'm sure they got that from their moms or aunts or big sisters or big girl cousins or whoever. And, nowadays even guys are wearing the stuff. I'm not going to talk about that too much, but, that's not for me and that won't be for my son, but at least not in my house. But, the thing for me is, I think a part of it, like I said, I think a lot of us, for generations of whomever, men and women, have been complicit in really building up in the mind of a lot of young girls that you need makeup to be beautiful. And it's like, that's why I tried to tell my wife, um, before we got married, I was always like pretty serious about that. My mother, my mother, my second mother, from what I remember, ever wore makeup. Now, I'm not saying they never did, but they might have had, a little splash of it here and there. But for the most part, from what I remember, they never had that stuff on. And they were beautiful without it, I thought. But and that's another thing I wanted to say right there is I think is that we have to remember that beauty is subjective. So that's the thing I would tell my daughter is that, like, the older you get, daddy thinks you're beautiful. Like your mom thinks you're beautiful. Your brother thinks you're beautiful. Family members going to think you're beautiful. Um, but you might not be beautiful to every single person. Like there are some celebrities that a lot of people will say, "Whoo, now that one." Most of us will say, "Man, that's a beautiful looking woman, or a handsome looking man, or whatever." But most of us don't have that. Like and I don't. My feelings aren't hurt. Like if a bunch of women look at me and be like, I don't know what your wife saw in you. That's fine because I didn't marry you. I wasn't chasing after you. I was chasing after and married my wife. And that's the thing I think I would want my daughter to know is that, like, when you get older, and my son too, being hopefully, I'm sure I think he's handsome, um, is that you might not be beautiful to everybody, and that's okay. The thing is to find beauty in of yourself and realize that you don't need makeup to add to something or take away from something. So let's say like she grew up with a mark on her face or something like that. I know some. I think nowadays there are more and more people coming out who are like, oh my gosh, I can't think of the skin pigmentation. I think it's a disease. I don't think it's a disorder. I think it's a disease. Yeah, I think it's not going to be a disorder anyway. But anyway, not like albino, but like some people who I think like Michael Jackson had a certain type of disease that before he like bleached his entire skin. Basically, where he was African American, obviously, and so but spots would be lighter or almost made him look Caucasian, I guess, if you will, certain spots. And some people might say, it looked like a cow or something like that. And that's not like to me be a joke or be mean. It's just like, how some person could have it. I'm saying the word is wrong terribly, obviously, right now. But some people would have my complexion, but they might have different spots on their face where the melanin is not as dark or is gone, or what have you. And so nowadays that you're starting to see more models kind of come out to trying to represent everybody. Like there are people like that in the world with skin pigmentation issues. So they I wouldn't call it an issue. Anyway, I hope anybody who's watching this video is not taking no offense. I don't mean anything disrespectful. Using my words are coming out wrong. But anyway, my point being is that a lot of people, a lot of girls. I'm gonna direct this more to females. Is that we kind of made you all believe that you had to have makeup to look beautiful, or dress a certain way, or have your hair a certain way, or look a certain way, or whatever, or what have you. And I think that's been dangerous. That's really been dangerous for a lot of young ladies' confidence, mental health issues, maybe physical health issues. That's why you had some girls who probably went and tried to be, not try to be, but became anorexic because they were trying to have a certain weight. Some girls maybe eating more or what have you. So anyway, my whole point being is that I think the real reason that real reason I think I respect the Stephanie Lange lady, but the real reason that you quote unquote feel ugly or think you're ugly without makeup is really because of society. Is because we were the ones that made all of us. Like I said, I don't like to think I've told too many girls. I don't think I've ever told too many girls I don't know if I told any girl that they were ugly. Maybe I had when I was a kid, being a goofy child. But like I said, I think a lot of people have played a part in that. Would be if you created a certain shows or commercials, if you did certain music videos. Those of us who watched the music videos and thought, oh, okay, that girl looks beautiful, and then our little sister or little girl cousin or girlfriend maybe or whoever was like, oh, okay, so that's what looks beautiful. That they think that's beautiful, and that's been our mistake. That's been a failure, I think, of all of us who've had little girls around us and really didn't encourage them to make them realize you don't need makeup. Like, I'm not hating on makeup. It's not going away, I don't think, but I don't want my little girl to think that she needs makeup. I mean, I've tried to tell my wife not to wear makeup. Now, that's up to my wife. I can't make her do anything she doesn't want to do. Um, but I've never been a big fan of that. I've always felt it was fake myself. So anyway, I just want to say that I think is the real reason. The real reason that a lot of you young ladies may feel ugly without makeup really is because of society. It's really because a lot of us just did a bad job of really telling you that you're beautiful as you are, and you don't need anything else, baby girl. Something to think about.